Hello and welcome back to Let's Play RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. Last time I finished building a wooden coaster, and right now the video is on normal speed so you can see the train of that coaster going through the second half of the track. There it goes through the loop-de-loop right next to the entrance to the park, and then onto the final water splash. A bit slow going at that point, but it'll go faster once it's full of passengers. And then through the final helixes and onto the brakes before the station itself. Since that's train number 3 instead of number 1, there won't be any test results available yet, so I'm going to take the time to save the game and build some more pathways, possibly over these water splash sections here. That won't fit, so I gotta try something else. Maybe over there. No, the coaster's in the way. Quite tight spaces here. Well, at least that helps the excitement rating, having the coaster intertwine with itself like that, even though if there aren't any pathways in between. Well, at least that one fit there, so guests can watch the trains going into the water. Gotta adjust some settings while we watch the train number 3 going through the first part of the track. Set the price up higher. Don't know yet what it should be because test results aren't ready yet. You might have noticed that this episode is much longer than usual. Well, that's because I just got upgraded to be able to post more than 15-minute long videos on YouTube. So I thought I'd give it a try, see how it turns out. Besides, it's a little bit easier for me to edit one 30-minute video instead of two 50-minute ones, so might as well. Longer episodes will also get me faster to live commentary, and when I do get there, I won't have to worry about only playing for 15 minutes at a time, or for recording only 15 minutes, because there isn't any limit anymore. So thanks, YouTube. So here I am, leveling off some land, making sure the new coaster gets fixed by the mechanics. And there we have the test results: 964 excitement, 946 intensity, and 714 nausea. Pretty good. I'm quite pleased at how it turned out. Now I'm thinking, where should I make the queue line go? Should I just make it underground fully or come out somewhere? So I ended up with just underground completely, making some zigzags wherever I can to make it quite long, because there will be a lot of guests lining up. There we have it, it's done. Lift the price a bit to match the excitement more. Could have gone for €9, but oh well. Didn't really know that back when I made this park. I just put $7 or $8 for all the coasters. So now we need a name for it, and I came up with Swashbuckler to go with the pirate theme of this area. Going to add a sign there with the ride name so people can find it better, or they would if they had real intelligence instead of stupid AI. Now I'm choosing the colors, some orange for the supports, black on those things next to the rails, and then what color should I put for those railings? Very indecisive as usual. but it's going to be orange pretty soon for the supports, black for the track, and also dark orange for those railings. There we go. Looks quite nice. Orange is my favorite color, so I tend to use it a lot, especially in pirate themed areas. Orange and black especially. Now I'm coloring up the trains, maybe some brown perhaps. There you can also see the train going once again with through the first part of the track, but now with a full load of passengers, so it goes a little bit faster. Underground, oh my god. Into the twists and turns and towards the wet zone. You guys are going to get wet. Splash, splish, splish. Underground tunnel, yikes. And back out again into some more water as if they weren't wet already. Now you are. To me, these wooden supports look much nicer than some steel coaster supports, but the problem with these is that they obscure a lot of things. So right now I'm adding some support structures to take away some of those supports there, so you can see the water splashes in the on-ride photo better. So back to choosing colors for the trains. Different color per train as usual. Some black and white there. Oh, that reminds me, I just saw Men in Black 3 today. It was quite funny as usual. Lots of action and CGI and cool 3D effects. I like those as well. They did a nice job of bringing Men in Black to this decade. Well, it's been actually a full decade since the last MIB movie, so it was about time they did another one. Anyways, here I am going to add some scenery here next to the loop there. Spice it up a bit after I lower the ground there to make it look nicer. Add some of those spooky themed walls, or is it creepy? I don't remember. The one with the pumpkins, whichever that it's called. Then some railings here so the guests can see the trains whizzing by. Then signs on both sides of the loop. As soon as I can fit those posts that are a pain in the ass because you can't really change their direction. Just gotta find the right whatchamacallit, square to fit them properly. So there we have the sign. Gotta add a space there so it goes on both lines, and instead of leaving LER on the second line. Then some flowers there underneath the sign. Some more railings. Gotta make sure the guests can't fall in there. Well, actually they can't, but if this was a real park, would need some railings or something. So now I hired an entertainer for the queue line of Locust Swarm. And then I think I'm gonna change his costume, yeah, to the Roman one to fit the theme better. Then another entertainer for Genie in a Bottle, a tiger one. Looking at some rides. And what should I do next? Aha, I'm gonna build the flying saucers here in this abstract or space themed area. Set it up, 10 minutes, €3, 2 minutes, queue line with the red ones to match the area, and a very creative name, flying saucers. How in the hell did I come up with that one? That's just genius. Yeah, it's hard for me sometimes to think of cool names for these boring ass rides. Gentle ones and transport ones especially. Here I am, glassing it up, make it abstract. A triangle thingy there inside. Some fences and glass walls and a roof around the whole thing. Some shapes on top. Why not? Make it look all futury and abstract and whatever. Fences around the whole thing. There we go. On to check on some rides, how they doing. People still paying for them. Locust Swarm keeps on making money, but this damn circus is a pain in the behind. People aren't paying for it. Soon it'll be like 10 cents and they still might complain. I'm not paying that much to go on the circus. I'm a cheapskate, mother. Boop. So the circus is pretty much just for show. Quite soon it ends up costing you money instead of making it. So I built this round tower here in the middle of those helixes, colored orange of course to match the coaster. Raise up some land to make it nice and smooth. Next I decided to do a side-by-side comparison of all the coaster's stats. There you have all three of them. Swashbuckler is my favorite, even though Locust Swarm is the one with the best excitement to intensity ratio. Next I am going to build a transport ride. The first one in this park, I believe, is going to be the chairlift. First station is gonna be right here in the abstract area, right there next to the iced tea stall. Then we go over the genie in a bottle and the Nile log flume. All these Egyptian rides here, or Arabic or whatever. And over Locust Swarm and all the others there. Then I'm thinking where to put the other station. Gonna go over the circus and then turn right here. Then back down, nope, coaster in the way, gotta move it a bit. And place the other station here next to the pirate ship. Can't fit the exits there because of the coaster, so made it a bit longer. And then I'm gonna elongate this station as well to match the other one. Set up the speed to maximum, because who wants to go 3 kilometers per hour on a chairlift? That would be like take forever to get anywhere. Set up the mechanic to fix it. There. Choose colors for the whatchamacallit supports. Black and gray. Plain entrance because it's two different themed areas for the stations. But I think later on I'm gonna choose abstract to match this area better. Then we have the queue line for this station set up around the iced tea stall, and then a yellow queue line for this pirate area station. Both of these stations and queue lines will be converted into sort of buildings in this episode later on. And I have an award for the safest park in the country. Probably not the first time. Now set up the mechanic for this station as well. The test is complete. 0.63 excitement. Wow. And as I said, I'm very lousy at making up cool names for transport rides, so I usually just add the park name before the before the ride type. So now I'm gonna cover this station with abstract walls and shapes and whatnot, going with black walls this time, some triangles inside, more walls, and then of course the roofs, slanted ones over the station and the flat ones everywhere else, or at least on the exit. Gotta add some small wall pieces to cover the exit completely, although this is futile because later on I'm gonna change the entrance and exit type to abstract, finishing up the roof with more slanted and flat ones than squares on each corner, and those ball thingies, whatever they're called, I have no idea. Just a geometric shape of some kind. Then log cabin walls on this other station and roofs as well, of course. Covering up the station with wooden blocks and walls with windows on them so you can see inside all the way around, and put in some little pieces to cover the gaps in between. Oh, this is gonna take a while, so I should probably think about something else to talk about. Well, let's see. I can tell you what else you're gonna see in this episode, which, as I mentioned, is a lot longer than usual. I'm going to build 3 more rides later on. Fortunately, all of them are gentle rides, so nothing that exciting, but rides anyway. And then I'm also going to build an entirely new themed area, which actually is right about here on the right side of the screen. Won't tell you what it is yet, but it's entirely new and you'll get to see it pretty soon. Let's see, I could also mention something about the next episode. I'm going to build a coaster in it, and that's gonna be the one that I've mentioned in the description of all these videos. It's the one that makes me lots of money. It's a dueling hypercoaster, which will make me up to 50,000 euros per hour. Oh my god, that's insane. I already have almost 100,000, but I'm gonna need the money anyway, because those damn guests aren't gonna pay the full prices forever, damn you. So yeah, that's what's gonna be in the next episode. I don't yet know how long it's gonna be, but probably pretty long, because I plan to fit the entire construction of that coaster into one episode. There you have it. I completed this construction here, made a nice tower with some signs on it, and I'm changing them to say chairlift, because the whole ride name won't fit into one stupid vertical sign. And I also put those scrolling signs around it with the whole ride name. Then I'm building the space rings, which fit nicely in this abstract themed area here, coloring them with traditional blue, red, green and yellow, and that leaves orange out of the colors that I often use, so I'm gonna use orange for the entrance and also the scenery, which I'm gonna build next, I think, after I name it Space Rings. Oh, how genius. Wow. I'll try to think of something more creative later on. But here we go with the orange scenery, slanted roofs, glass walls, same as the other ones, to match the theme here. Don't get too complicated with this stuff. There we have it. The nausea rating is the highest, and I actually learned from someone that you can set the price to $6.50 and the guest will pay it happily. So, didn't know of it back when I recorded this, but nowadays I use it sometimes. Although after they get tired of that $6.50 price, then you have to drop it quite a bit for them to get interested again. Speaking of which, there's that stupid circus again. I had to lower the price once more. So now this is going to be that new themed area that I mentioned. It's gonna have green paths and grass on the ground, and what's that theming called? Those with those giant plants and insects and whatever. I'm gonna use those here after I fix this damn post, which is in the way of that. Oh, someone fell down there, so I had to save him before he gets out of sight. So there you have the path connected. Fix the post back up, and that fence as well. Gotta build it in the air to fit there. Back to those paths, green ones. Going to move it one space to the left there. Then over the coaster, make a so-called head cutter right there, so the people riding on the coaster, from their perspective, it looks like their head is about to get cut off by that pathway. Those boost the excitement somewhat. Well, maybe not one, but if you build more of them, they'll have an impact. Then I'm marking the boundary of this new zone with some hedges here, conifer ones. I'm thinking of where should I place this spiral slide. There's not enough room there, so I build it on the coast or river bank instead. Set up the mechanic, choose an entrance style, going with canvas ones and green queue lines to match those pathways. Set up the price, the inspection interval, and name it slippery slide. Some green in there and pink and pink or magenta or whatever that's called. Yeah, green and pink. Then some daisy lamps for this area, and I'm thinking which type of bench should I use. First went with the stone ones, but then I realized they're used quite a bit, so might as well use something different, going with these ones, which I believe are part of the jungle theming, if I remember correctly. And those daisy lamps all over the place, and litter bins as well. Standard procedure. Then I'm coloring part of the coaster to match this new themed area. Put some green in there. Yep, and then for the grass, which I mentioned, it's going to cover this whole corner of the park. Bloop, 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 bloop. There we go, and then some scenery, beanstalks, maybe giant carrots. Now I'm gonna build a garden first here. Pink ones, yay. Fences around them, and then some scary spiders, braha. As if that coaster isn't scary enough. And some giant grass, some bushes in between, more spiders, yikes. So eventually this whole corner of the park will be covered in giant garden theming. And there's also gonna be 2 more rides here later on, both gentle ones I believe. To mix things up a bit, I'm actually gonna build a small hill for one of those rides to make it stand out more. Oh, there's a cute little snail family. Although everyone's different colored, so they probably aren't a family, because their colors probably are genetic. Now we have a dolphin fountain and statues and more pink flowers. Oh, so pretty. Pretty pink, huge carrots, some bushes, and there we have it. Now I'm switching to build mode. After I complete this path there, litter bins, and it's done. So I'm gonna build the next ride, which is a maze. Hedge maze, going with brick walls to match the Roman theme here. Build the exit first, usually, so I can leave room for the queue line. Nice bit of zigzag going there, and then a spiral type solution, and I'm leaving some spaces in between so I can put some statues or something there later on. The maze is really useful for filling up random spaces like this, because you can make it any shape you want basically. So this one's gonna be used to fill this gap here between the locust swarm and circus. Another spiral there, and now I'm thinking where to leave more spaces for those decorations. There we go. Nope. Switched it up to go through. Then set up the Roman themed entrance and exit and queue line. There we go, all the way to those rides there. Price it up to 3 and open, and rename to Catacombs. Well, actually it should be underground with that name, but oh well. Then for the scenery, some statues in those holes that I left earlier. Maybe a fountain, yep. Then some more scenery on the queue line. Roman themed roofs all the way across, some columns, and we are nearing the end of this episode, which has been quite eventful because it was so long. But I will see you in the next one, where I build the 4th roller coaster.